What is up, everybody? It is I, Ronin, and it's spooky month again. This time, though, we're not playing joke spooky cards, but actual spooky cards in the form of learning how to play pure zombie world. Ah, yeah, but it's still spooky month, and you know what? Keeping with the theme, it's pure zombie world time, aka Balerdroch the deck. And now let's let's just get right into the deck profile of this one because I actually like this deck a lot. But yeah, basically the deck, as the name might suggest, focuses around this field spell, Zombie World. It's a very simple card. All it does is say all monsters on the field and in the graveyards are counted as zombie monsters, and neither player can tribute summon monsters except for zombie monsters. So that last part doesn't really come up. It's a pretty old field spell. I want to say it came out in like 2009 maybe. But yeah, within the past I think couple of years, a bunch of support came out around this card, and you can make it get a fairly competent deck now. It all focuses mostly around this guy, Doom King Balerdroch, one of the best boss monsters in the whole game. And he has a couple effects. First up, as long as you control a zombie world, he will revive himself in defense mode during every standby phase. And once per chain, so long as he is not chained to another Doom King Balerdroch, he can activate one of these effects, both these effects being hard once per turns. He can negate a effect in the chain, or he can banish a monster from the field or the graveyard. Yeah, combine that with a 2800 body, you've got yourself quite the boss monster to deal with. And there are lots of different ways to bring him out. So obviously I suppose the most well-known way would be the zombie engine, that being Shiranui Solitaire, Unizombie, and Mizuki. If you don't know how the combo goes, I'll explain it now. So you start by normal summoning Solitaire. Use Solitaire's effect to tribute itself and summon a tuner from your deck, or a zombie tuner from your deck, which is Unizombie. Then you can use Unizombie's ability to foolish another zombie card to increase something's on the field's level by 1, which case will be itself, and you said Mizuki. Mizuki can then be used to revive any zombie in the graveyard by banishing itself with its own effect. So traditionally that was used to make Psyframe Lord Omega various times because but you would have a level 4 in the graveyard, a level 4 tuner, and a way to get that monster out of the graveyard. So you can make a level 8, however nowadays it's a little bit more practical to make Vampire Sucker, who we'll go over in a little bit. However, Unizombie does a lot more in the deck because it can also send Necro World Banshee, as well as the Glow Up Bloom. But yeah, so zombies getting a free Foolish or discard is nuts, is basically the point here. And these just give you lots of options to use it. If a Balerdroch is in your graveyard, you can revive it with Mizuki. You can set up the Necroworld Banshee, which you can banish from field or graveyard to activate a zombie world from your deck. While it's on the field, it also protects Zombie World. And then there's Glow Up Bloom, who, when it is sent to the graveyard from anywhere, you can add a level 5 or higher zombie monster from your deck to your hand. And if Zombie World is on the field, then you can special summon it instead. So that's the sort of other way to be getting to your Balerdroch. If you send this to the graveyard, so with say a Link Summon or a Foolish or a Unizombie, then as long as you have Zombie World, you just special summon Balerdroch from deck by banishing it. So yeah, just another way to be pretty good at this whole getting there thing. Now we've kind of been over everything. There's two more support cards that we run. Ash Blossom, because we can, and it's nice to have that extra little backup negation. And Vampire Fraulein, who is mostly here for battle reasons, which we'll go over now. So, uh, it has a special summoning condition for itself from hand when a monster declares an attack, and as a quick effect once per battle, if your zombie monster battles an opponent's monster during damage calc as a quick effect, you have the option to pay up to 3,000 life points. These life point payments are in multiples of 100, and the zombie monster that is battling's attack and defense during that damage calc will increase by the amount paid. And if at the end of the battle phase, if it destroys anything by battle, you can special summon what destroyed from the graveyards to your field. It's not ever really coming up, but it's a good way to just sort of make sure that none of our weaker monsters can be beat over. So yeah, normally you wouldn't run this in a danger zombie variant. I'm pretty sure you would cut the Ash as well as the Fraulein for dangers. But no, in this pure build, they actually work quite well. Now for our spell traps, we already went over Zombie World. Let's see, we also have a Lure of Darkness because drawing cards is nice, especially when you have mostly dark attribute monsters. Terraforming for effectively that makes it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 copies of Zombie World, 8 copies of Zombie World in our deck with Foolish Burial because we can Foolish Burial the Necro World Banshee in order to banish itself and activate a Zombie World. A Foolish Burial obviously has other uses because this deck loves graveyard setup. Monster Reborn because we use a lot of stuff in the graveyard, so it's kind of nice to be able to just revive something for free. Super Poly, mostly for the Necro Dragon Necro Nether Soul Dragon. Always have trouble with this one. It's mostly here to be a super poly target because it just requires 2 zombie monsters, and a zombie world on the field, everything is in fact a zombie. So, yeah, it helps, and I also forgot to mention this about Balerdroch, but his effect only chains and activates with zombie monsters. That's why Zombie World is super helpful. We also have a couple more super poly targets in the form of Starving Venom Fusion Dragon and Mud Dragon of the Swamp, just in case. Now for our last card, just our traps, we have one Solemn Warning because it stops very niche situations and we need a one of, as well as free Shiranui style Swallows Slash, which lets you tribute a zombie monster and then pop 2 on the field. It also lets you banish or it forces you to banish a Shiranui from deck. So if you're playing straight up Shiranuis, then it's awesome. But for us, it's just deck thinning pretty much, and a pop 2. Yeah, and that's the main deck. Now for the extra deck, which is a little bit less important. We kind of already went over Link Kribo's purpose when we went over Glow Up Bloom. It's mostly there to be another way to get Glow Up Bloom in the graveyard. Nightmare Package, obviously. Boral Sword for OTKs. Boral Load for stealing monsters. Omega, because it's a classic play, and I would be ashamed to go without it. Super Poly Targets. And that leaves the last card to talk about Vampire Sucker, because you always want to make Sucker. So it's a Link 2 zombie. Requires 2 zombie monsters. It lets you tribute your opponent's monster for the tribute summon of zombies. And it has 2 effects. The first lets you target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard to special summon it to in defense, and it becomes a zombie if it was not already for some reason. And if a zombie is special summoned from either graveyard, draw a card. And that's kind of where the basic combo comes in. And the basic combo involves basically just using Balerdroch to make Sucker. Because it'll revive itself in the standby phase of the next turn. It comes back out, you get a draw. Hopefully you draw into, say, like a hand trap or something. And that's kind of the basic play. Just find a way to make Sucker with Balerdroch. Now for the side deck, we have pretty basic stuff. Free Radiant for our Kaiju, free Call by the Grave for searching, free Twin for spell trap removal, free Red Reboot for that trap heavy matchup, and for our own little bitty spicy tech, we have free Burial from a different dimension because this deck struggles hard against banished decks. So being able to put our banished cards back into the graveyard is pretty good. But yeah, that's the deck. If you're new here, well, even if you're not new here, we're changing video format style a little bit. Yeah, normally we have 3 replays. This time only going to be doing 2. Just gonna kind of see how that all works out. But yeah, I got some good replays. We're gonna watch them, go over the combos, what went right, what went wrong, weaknesses and strengths of the deck, so on and so forth. But yeah, all that being said, I will see you guys in the first replay. Alright everyone, welcome to the first replay of ShadCon. We are Ash, as in Ash from the Evil Dead series. And yeah, our opponent's playing Tenyi Metal Foes. Clearly they watch Hard Leg Gaming. And yeah, he's gonna go first. Normally we would want to go first, but this deck can play fruit a little bit, especially if you have Fraulein in hand. But let's get right into it. I'll show you. So he's gonna do some pretty standard Tenyi plays here. Make the monk, search things, summon that, go for the shaman of the Tenyi. I'm not really sure. Is he playing Mare? Is there a Mare present? Or is he just going straight off the hard leg deck list? Okay. Yeah, no Mare. So a little wild, a little crazy, but no. Yeah, so he's gonna go ahead and revive the Mapura, activate the silver to pop the Mapura in order to get the Metal Foes counter on field, setting it. I feel like that play was incorrect on his end. I feel like he should have gone into Berserker if he has it. Yeah, no, he has Berserker. So I feel like he should have gone to Berserker, set those, then maybe tried to Pendulum Summon? Like, that could have been good. But no, so it is our turn now, and we have basically opened the nut. So we go ahead and activate Foolish for the Necro World Banshee in order to activate the Zombie World from deck. Now Unizombie is going to go ahead and do his stuff. So Unizombie's effect will let us discard the Glow Up Bloom from our hand. And from there, we are able to special summon a level 5 or higher zombie from our deck, which will be Balerdroch. Then with Unizombie's effect one more time, we discard again. Well, we send the Balerdroch to the grave. I really should have sent something else. This was my bad, but no, it's fine though, just in case we had outed. So we go ahead, try to attack over the Shaman. Because we declared a attack, we are able to special summon our Fraulein from hand and beat over it. He's going to activate the Metal Foes counter to summon the Volflame from deck. However, Unizombie will be attacking into it using Fraulein's effect to be 100 points bigger. Yeah, we just beat over it. Then we make Sucker in main phase 2 and pass the turn up. There's our opponent's turn, and we are going to go ahead and revive Baller-droch with his own effect. But he is going to use the Metal Foes counter to get the Volflame back from the extra deck. And we do get a draw because of Sucker's effect. And it's just another Unizombie. Yeah, now our opponent's going to go ahead and Pendulum Summon. They activate the Super Poly in order to bring out a Metal Foes fusion monster, the Crimson Knight, which requires a Metal Foes and 2 monsters with 3,000 or less attack. Then he's going to use the Vashuda's effect to bounce back our Zombie World. Pretty smart. Attacking over the Sucker. Then it's going to be back to our turn. We draw, activate the Zombie World once more, play the Allure of Darkness to try to draw a little further in. We banished one of our Unizombies, we summon another, and we're just going to send Glow Up Bloom, and we will be able to, from there, pretty much just start the process all over. So he's going to go ahead and quit at that point, though. And that's pretty much the deck, sort of running on average cylinders. Full cylinders is a different thing, but that's the basic play. Get Sucker, set up the Balerdroch to revive it, and then just have any hand traps or back row you might want to back up those negates and stuff. But yeah, so that was the first replay of things going well. Next replay, and this time the final replay. Let me know what you guys think of that for future use. You're gonna see the deck not doing so well, and why it didn't do so well. But yeah, I'll see you guys there. All right, on to the final replay with player playing my mortal enemy, Floodgates the deck. And yeah, they're gonna go first. We've opened up. It's not great, but it's usable, assuming we can get summons and stuff off. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what our opponent does. So like a nut, they're gonna go ahead and just normal summon the Fossil Dyna. Not sure why you chose that, my friend, but it's gonna go ahead and activate Demise, which we will be ashing because fuck his Demise. Then it's our turn. We cannot special summon with that Fossil Dyna on the field, so we are going to do the smart play. To summon Mizuki, try to attack over it, but our Mizuki will be manhunted, unfortunately, but it's fine because we have another Mizuki, we have the Super Poly, and we will be able to make plays as soon as that Fossil Dyna is cleared. Alright, so our opponent got the perfect top deck, naturally. Summons the Thunder King Ryo, just goes for some damage. And then it's our turn again, so we just summon Mizuki, try to attack over the Dyna, but no, we get Compulse, because of course we do. Then our opponent is going to make their move. Of course, they draw the Mirror Force, one card that can kind of stop me outing this freaking Fossil Dyna, sets the other two. So yeah, now we're just going to summon Mizuki, or I'll activate Zombie Roar first. Summon Mizuki, attack into the Fossil Dyna. Because there's no way he drew into a freaking Mirror Force. And we get Mirror Force, and then it's just game after this because, well, why not, right? Just sit on a Fossil Dyna, don't even get punished for it. That game made me upset. But that does sort of show one of the deck's big weaknesses that, they need to special summon. If you cannot special summon in this deck, you are basically just screwed. There are, of course, a few other weaknesses, like stopping the Unizombie, banish dot decks, like I said. But this is kind of the big one, because with those other weaknesses, you can deal. You can generally side against it pretty well. There are in-deck outs to it pretty much, and it's just fine. But with just floodgates and not being able to special summon, like, you're not getting to Balerdroch, you're not getting to Unizombie, you're not getting to Fraulein, like, there's just nothing you're getting to. But, yeah, so that was the deck. Let me know if there's any ways I can improve it, what you guys' thoughts were on it. And if you like this little bit of a shorter style of video, I'm going to experiment with it for a little bit to see what you guys' response is. Do you want me to keep it short? Do you want me to go back to longer videos? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think, because it actually will affect things pretty heavily as far as, like, future of the channel stuff goes. But, yeah. That being said, like if you liked, comment if you have something to say, subscribe if you want some more. This has been Ronin, signing off.